Hey everybody, I'm sitting here with Sarah Conrad. She's a mortgage officer. She is the best on the planet, and that's a guarantee. All right, she's helped me and my clients many times, and my brokerage, I don't know, 100 times, and everything goes smoothly. So I've asked her to join me on the show this week, so she can answer some common questions that people have that I come across about real estate. So Sarah, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So one of the questions that I've heard many times, even before I was a realtor, was what does it mean to be pre-approved versus pre-qualified? There's a lot of confusion there. What's the difference?
There is, and there's a huge difference. So pre-qualified is pretty much, I would say, meaningless. I won't pre-qualify you, I will pre-approve you. Pre-qualify means that somebody has just kind of taken your word. There's no credit pull. You're just telling them what you make, what assets you have, and they're getting a rough estimate on what you may qualify for. A pre-approval actually is a credit check. It is looking in documentation of your assets, your income, and then being able to give you an actual number of what you are pre-approved for. You cannot shop for a home with the pre-qualification, but you can shop for a home with the pre-approval.
Now, another thing that's common is FHA loans versus conventional loans. All right, both are very common, and they're used for different purposes for different people in different situations. So, FHA loans. Can you tell people what the difference is between an FHA loan and a conventional loan?
So an FHA loan is going to allow for a little bit lower of a credit score, and it's going to allow for your debt to income to be a little bit higher, giving people a little bit more wiggle room. A conventional is going to be for buyers with a higher credit score that doesn't need as much wiggle room in their debt to income. Now, as far as knowing what you qualify for, I would talk to a loan officer, not assume what's going to work for you, because there are a bunch of different qualifications involved after you've completed a loan application.
All right, so when someone is trying to be pre-approved because they believe it's their time to buy a home, what kind of documentation is needed? What do they need to prepare to give to you so that they can become pre-approved?
So in order to get pre-approved, we need to take a look at your income. So whether that's tax returns, W-2s, pay stubs, whatever sort of income you have, it kind of varies from each individual person. We need to take a look at your assets and take a look at your credit. So as far as documentation, it's going to be assets and income.
So we talked about FHA and conventional loans, and there are also a variety of specific loan programs available. What's a common program out there that people have used to help them purchase a home, especially first-time home buyers? Or what kind of programs are out there?
So there's a lot of first-time homebuyer programs out there. My favorite is CalHFA, which helps with down payment and closing costs. I know a lot of first-time homebuyers don't have that equity or a lump sum to put down. So essentially, CalHFA is a program designated by California in regards to help first-time homebuyers get into homes by giving them assistance with down payment and closing cost. Another program that I utilize too is called Home Ready or Home Possible, which allows you to get in on a conventional loan with as low as 3% down and discounted mortgage insurance.
Wow. Okay. The conventional loan with
3% down?
As low as 3% down. What's your favorite part of being a loan officer?
Favorite part of being a loan officer? I love helping people. It's awesome. I get to be creative, and I get to help so many people that thought they could never, ever purchase a home, get into a home. And that feeling once they get the keys, and you get that phone call and they're crying too, or they have family members that are just so excited. I couldn't express to you a better feeling than being able to help somebody out with that.
Yep. Same here as far as being a realtor.
Right.
Do you have any advice? Is there any other advice you give to people who are hoping to be homeowners someday?
Best piece of advice is talk to a loan officer. Don't assume you know, and don't assume the agents necessarily know. We have this job for a reason, and we're here to educate you. And if you're working with a loan officer that can't educate you, then find somebody that can and answer all your questions, because it is a scary process to do. But if you have the right person working with you, they will make it less scary, and they will try to kind of walk you through the whole process and expectations.
And it doesn't cost you anything. So it does make sense not to talk to a loan officer. You're going to talk to a loan officer at some point anyways. And the earlier you start talking to a loan officer, the better off you're going to be, because you'll have more information sooner to help you plan your future. All right. If you're just waiting until you're interested in buying a home and you have no idea what you need to do in order to purchase that home, well, you may miss out on the home that you want, right? So if you get started months earlier preparing with advice from Sarah, you're going to be much better off. So talk to a loan officer. This one.
I would say too, is we can put somebody on a path to own.
Yeah.
You know, you may think you're ready and you're not, and all of a sudden your lease is up and you have to get out. But you're actually on a trajectory of maybe 6 months out from being able to buy. So like I said, it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
Why don't you sit down and figure it out, and then we can tailor to a monthly budget. You may be able to be qualified up to $700,000, but your payment's $4,000 and you really want to be at $3,000. So kind of figuring out what we need to do to make that realistic for you and fit what your actual goals are.
Yeah, and the advice is priceless. I mean, without the loan officer at the other end of your phone or text messages, you're not going to get that priceless advice. And things change. Things change in the mortgage industry all the time. Interest rates, credit score requirements, all those things change regularly. And if you don't have a loan officer that you're already in communications with, you're going to miss out on that information that may help you buy a house sooner. Sarah, thank you for being on the show. I look forward to working with you with our next client.
Of course.
And remember, a house is not home until it's full of art. Have a wonderful day. You deserve it.